What's the worst mistake people don't realize they're making in their 20s? As you get money you tend to take out credit to get nice things. A sudden change in your career can ruin your life for a while. Be careful about buying things you can't pay for outright. Not saving enough money. Pay yourself first, don't work the rest of your life. Not eating right and exercising. The heart attack you have at 50 doesn't just magically show up. Cardiovascular disease is from years of buildup. Not getting enough sleep or not having a good sleep schedule. Not wearing a condom. Bold of you to assume I have sex. Life is not a race. It doesn't matter who's getting married, who's moved out from parents' house, who has a kid. You go at your pace. Don't think you're behind anyone else. I needed to hear this. Thank you. Not spending time with their elders. They will be gone sooner than you know it and you will never get that chance back. Buying a brand new car. I understand needing a car. You do not need a 40-60K car fresh off the lot with a $700 plus monthly payment over the next 6 to 7 years. Yes, it's nice to have a flashy, powerful car, but it really sucks to constantly be broke because you're paying for a car that is constantly depreciating in value. Having kids. You don't have to. I think the advice should be don't have kids you don't want rather than don't have kids. Some people actually do want kids, not because they think they have to but because they actually want to be parents. Scrolling this far on Reddit, instead of doing something productive. Haha, this one right here. If you aren't taking dental hygiene serious in your 20s, you are going to have a bad time later in life. Edit. For everyone asking my advice on what's serious, brush twice daily. After every meal is better. Wait a little since some foods can weaken enamel. Floss twice daily. After every meal is better, or at least once at night. Electric toothbrush will change your life. Not necessary, but they do a way better job than you probably do at brushing. Get the ones with a spinning head brush. Visit your dentist every 6 months for regular checkups. Don't brush too hard or you will wear away your enamel. When you floss, get up into your gum line. You need to scrape away the plaque from up there, not just remove food from between your teeth. Did I mention flossing and brushing twice daily? Edit 2. After all the comments I went researching some more additional info. Ultrasonic toothbrush are recommended over rotating, but it has to be the right toothbrush, which after some research could cost you up to $200. As far as cheaper options, the rotating brush is still recommended over vibrating. Dent is one brand that uses the proper frequency, but the price tag is, well, a lot. Standing without sunscreen. That catches up with you when you least expect it. Not using sunscreen and being careless with my skin is one of my biggest regrets at 32. I smoked cigarettes, drank heavily, ate like shit, and didn't use sunscreen. In your 20s, you just bounce back with hardly any physical consequences and you feel like you're going to be young forever. All of a sudden, I woke up one day with wrinkles and skin damage that I can't reverse and is only going to get worse from here on out. I am still having a hard time accepting it, and it causes a lot of depression and regret in my current life when I look at myself in the mirror. Sticking to a career they hate because that's what they chose to do when they were 16 to 18 years old. It's never too late to change your career path, and if you are not enjoying it now, do you think that will change in another 20 to 30 years? My issue is I've been in my line of work for long enough that I'm making a substantial amount of money from it. Much more than I could make at another job. I could go to school to get a degree in something I enjoy, but I also run the risk of going into insane student debt and end up not finding a job in that field. Financially, it would not be possible for me to just switch jobs and lose the pay I'm getting now. Treating their body like it's a rental. Look after it. You will be living in this body for many years to come. Don't burn out the clutch by 27 and live with the consequences for 60 more years. I wish I realized this. 28. Overweight and now starting to feel like I'm getting old for the first time. It's weird how that feeling of invincibility you get when you're young can disappear overnight. Never too late. 62 here. Played soccer yesterday with my regular group of 30 and 40 somethings, but managed 3 credible shots on goal and played some killer defense plus old 3 people. All the young guys hoop and holler when some 32-year-old gets smoked by grandpa. Lose the weight, exercise, get healthy. This from my personal experience. What I would tell my 20-year-old self. 1. Don't try to fit in, or follow 2. Take school more seriously and try harder. 3. Save money as much as you can. 4. Don't drink alcohol. 5. Don't smoke cigarettes. 6. Don't rush into anything. 7. Meditate. 8. Don't chase anyone or anything too hard. 9. Travel. 10. Stay away from fast, junk food. 11. Love yourself before looking for love from others. 12. Slow down your breath and learn to slow down. Staying in relationships with, having sex with people that don't actually care about you and wouldn't be interested in being with you long term. If someone isn't on the same page with you relationship-wise, don't wait around for them to change their mind just because they are willing to be with you now. Not living with your parents in your early 20s. A lot of people want to move out of their parents' house right away because they want to be independent, which is fair, but living with your parents is a great way to save money and have a head start when you do move out. Of course, this only works if your parents allow you to stay with them and if you have a good relationship with them, but if so, I would recommend it. Don't spend your whole life trying to gather as many friends as you can. It's pointless. Most of them are going to be like Facebook friends and that's just the way things are. Don't be sad if you don't have a huge circle of friends. Be happy with 1 to 2 true friends. Work on yourself, be happy with yourself and don't be afraid to stand up for what is right, even if everyone else think it's wrong. Practice patience and kindness. Be considerate. I know when you are at that age, the world seems to go so fast and you seem invincible. You are not. Don't kill. It might seem like a good thing and fast way to resolve an issue, but don't go to jail. Maybe ignore that last part. Not making tiny changes and sticking to them. I know that I had an all-or-nothing attitude in my 20s. If I tried my hand at painting and my first few attempts were crap, I'd drop it. If I tried saving money and saw how little it was, I'd spend it. You have to do little things every day and just don't stop. It'll add up in your 30s and you'll be so grateful even later. The problem is, many 20-year-olds think of 30 and above as not counting somehow. They can't imagine not being a complete success in their 20s or not being in a perfect relationship in their 20s. But life goes on. Your 30s are freeing and you're in a whole different mental space from then on. Don't get desperate and stay with an awful person just because you're so old and unmarried at 29. Or make decisions that ignore the rest of your life. Don't quit studying or learning just cause you're out of college. If you want a career change, don't not do a non-lib course or start working towards it because you'll see a result 5 years from now. That 5 years will pass and you'll wish you had done something. Just keep doing small things. Mistake: getting comfortable in your current job, while also not making plans to increase your skills to qualify for the next role. Unless you joined a generous company, don't assume your first job is going to really take care of you for years to come. This isn't the 1950s where corporate culture rewards loyalty. Year on year they will instead continue to dump greater responsibility on you, but come compensation time, barely increase your pay more than the cost of living increase. Then they'll justify it by saying you are at the arbitrary pay ceiling for your role. Don't be like me and become obsolete, making life scary and job hunting depressing. It is daunting to recover from. Instead, 1-2 times a year, check online job postings and look for reasonable next step roles for yourself. 2. Then identify any knowledge gaps for that role, and actively work on learning what you need in order to fill the gap, even if that means learning it out of work hours. 3. Then apply for similar roles. You do not need to be 100% perfect fit, 80 to 90% fit is great. 4. Expect to not always win the job offers. Competition nowadays is fierce. Get comfortable in being knocked down but getting up again. 5. Rejoice when you land a new role, knowing you are doing well to avoid becoming stagnant. 6. Repeat steps 1 to 5 at least every 2 years, or not, and see how capitalism rewards a static employee.